Grisly crimes from past. Noose for a strangler. George Gaffney was a petty thief. He operated from London's seedy Soho red light district in the early years of this century. His crimes were all minor, except for one, and that was the most serious of all. On the first day of March 1910, Gaffney saw on a street seller's cart a strange 3-foot long of woven silk rope which he recognized as a Thuggee cord used by the Hindu assassin sect in the Middle East to dispatch their victims. Gaffney bought it. 2 weeks later, he used it. The cheap thief had been having problems with a girl named Bessie Graves, who expected him to marry her because she was pregnant. But Gaffney had wooed her under the alias of Arthurians. Now he had found a much more promising opportunity, an elderly rich woman named Stella Fortney. Called by a historical landlady, Scotland Yard detectives found Bessie Graves with the strangler's cord drawn so tightly around her throat it was embedded in the flesh. Their only clue was that the probable strangler was a man who called himself Arthurians. It was little for the year to go on, and 3 weeks later, Gaffney was still at large pursuing his romance with the widow. It occurred to him one night that he would make a more impressive appearance if he called on the lady in a hansom cab. A second later, he was screaming. In the half-light of the closed vehicle, George found Bessie Graves sharing the seat with him. The dead girl's eyes stared glassily into his, and the swollen tongue lolled from her mouth. For more than a week, Gaffney drank steadily. Then he went to see Stella. She was far from friendly that evening, but melted when Gaffney gave her a stolen diamond ring. They shared a bottle of champagne, after which she sent him to the cellar for another. Bearing a kerosene camp, Gaffney was halfway down the steps when Bessie Graves climbed out of the darkness to meet him. She had succeeded in loosening the strangler's cord, which swung from her throat like a necklace. But the staring eyes were worse. Screaming, Gaffney threw the lamp at her and crashed headlong to the bottom of the stairs. Gaffney spent 3 weeks in hospital, and when he left, he decided that he had only one chance of throwing off the ghost who would not leave him alone. If he put England behind him forever, perhaps Bessie Graves would remain there too. He booked passage on the liner Montrose for Quebec. With renewed hope, he climbed into a small hotel on the eve of the voyage. In the semi-gloom of the room, he saw Bessie again. This time she had freed herself from the silken noose and was holding it out to him. Feebly, he took it from her claw-like fingers. When he lifted his eyes again, Bessie had vanished. But the message was obvious. Gaffney sat down and began to scrawl his confession. He told in details of Bessie's murder and of her successive visits from the tomb. And now, he said, there was no possible escape. Called by hotel staff, men from the yard broke into Gaffney's room. They found the thief hanging from a beam. They read his confession and agreed at once that the case of Soho strangler was closed. Yet, there was one element of the case that puzzled them. For the first time, a vital piece of evidence had vanished from the yard's thief-proof vaults. It was the Thuggee cord, the same cord that Gaffney used to hang himself in the closet. Thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed this story, please like and leave a comment as it helps with YouTube algorithm to grow this channel. I regularly upload, so by subscribing, you will be notified of new materials. You will find similar contents in my other videos. Have a safe day. Signing off.